to Saltiness Isn't Bliss. Today I am featuring a mini cherry pie and cherry pie wrap. So let's get started. We want to preheat our oven to 325 degrees. We want to find any thin pan you have. This is actually just a pizza pan that I'm working with. And line it with parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, you can always work with foil. And you can always just spray the pan as well and put nothing on there. So make it work for you guys with whatever you've got handy in your kitchen. So over here, I took one pie crust out of this box of 2. I let it get to room temp, so let it warm up. Unrolled it. Once I unrolled it, I've got my little mini calzone press that I have featured previously in my calzone video. I just used the bottom of that, cut out my circle here from my pie crust. This is what I'm going to use for my wrap. And in effort to not waste the pie crust, I cut out these little strips to kind of have that fun little pie effect on this mini graham crust. Of course, I'm going to take those off to put my filling in there. So that's just a fun idea so that you can use some more of the crust. I've got a little extra piece here, so just in case I need to cut or add a little more to either one of these, I saved some of my crust in effort to do that. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the wrap. And what I'm going to do, I'm working with some cherry pie filling here. Look how good that looks. If cherry's not your thing or you have a different flavor on hand, make it work for you. That's perfectly fine. I actually originally intended to use apple pie filling, couldn't find it, so cherry is the next best thing. So I'm going to scoop some of this out of here right into the center of my rounded pie crust. So you can decide how much you put in there, how much or how little, based on the size of your wrap. And then we're just going to kind of fold those sides over and then just pinch where you can to kind of seal it up a little bit. You can also completely seal it if you prefer, and then I'm going to kind of just push my cherry filling back into the center as best I can. And then when we place that on our pan, that's kind of what that looks like. We want to place it seam side down. So where our seam is here, we want to tuck that down onto our pan. So it's going to go into the oven just like that. Of course, if you want to brush the top of that with egg, with anything you can think of for when it goes in the oven, you can do that. I'm going to leave mine plain because I do plan on putting some tasty ingredients on top once it comes out of the oven. So next up will be our mini pie crust. So I'm going to remove my strips so that I can add my filling in there. So there's what it looks like empty. Comes in a pack of 6. So these are really cute and handy, and you can get creative with what you fill them with. I have featured them a couple of times on my channel. One was chocolate pudding, one was fruit tart. I also just thought of the fact that I have lemon curd, which I talked about in my dessert platter video. So I've got lemon curd, and I thought, oh, that'd be a great thing to put in these graham crust as well. Pop that in the oven, have a little warm lemon curd pie, because I do love lemon. So here's how that looks with the filling in there. And then we're just going to place those strips back on top. So when I cut them, I just made sure to cut them a little bit longer than they needed to be, so I could kind of wrap them around the edges of the crust. Something like that. Just kind of pinch it on the ends there to keep it in place. And then you repeat those steps and do the same when you put that top layer on. This is just a quick and easy way to do this without having to make everything homemade from scratch. Not that that isn't a better way and a more tasty way. This is just a quick and easy way to give you that same feeling, that same look, and take a whole lot less time and have a little bit less salt as well. So now this is going to go right in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. I will see you then. All right, so we've got our wrap and our mini pie right out of the oven. Just got a nice little crispiness to it. So my idea for toppers, of course, get as creative as you like, is a little bit of caramel sauce, some ground cinnamon, sugar, and some whipped topping. So I am going to just do the caramel right on the wrap. Put my cinnamon directly on top of my caramel because that will help it to stick. I'm going to just do cinnamon right on the mini pie, like that, and then top both. Just a little bit of my whipped topping. How tasty does that look, guys? Makes my mouth water right now. Take a look inside there. Ugh. Look at all those flavors just falling off the fork. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.